is macroeconomics. So we will be understanding that what are the basically what is macroeconomics and what are the tools under it, how we are, what is the subject matter of macroeconomics and all that. Okay. So let's just start. So first is macroeconomics. What is macroeconomics? So it studies the behavior of an economy as a whole, right? So when you study economy as an individual, that is your microeconomy. But when you study macroeconomics, when you study economy as a whole, okay, you are going to include everyone, then it is your macroeconomics. Okay, it studies national aggregate like aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and national income. Over here, if you are only studying individual demand, like for example, I am studying about myself, like what are my demands, that is my microeconomics. But if I'm studying about like what is my demand, what is Manisha demand, what is Ritika's demand, right? We are doing aggregate one. So that is the aggregate demand. Okay, this aggregate means adding all the people, all the components. Okay. Similarly, supply. If it is individual supply or just a simple supply, that is basically microeconomics. But aggregate means all the person who are supplying, you are just going to add it. So that is your aggregate supply. Okay. And then national income. If I will say individual income, like how much I am earning, how much Vanisha is earning, how much Ritika is earning, like that. But if in total, how we are an Indian, we are inside in economy. So how much an economy in the people who are living in an economy they are earning. So that is national income, right? That's a nation. So that's a national income. So all these are microeconomics. Over here, it also studies national economic problem like inflation, unemployment, poverty, and the issue connected with economic growth and economic development. So any issue related to economic growth and economic development, that comes under macroeconomics, not under microeconomics. Why? Because over here economic growth is not because of one people, it is because of the entire country, entire people who are living in an economy, right? Similarly, economic development, I will not develop only one individual, I will be developing the entire country. So all this comes under macroeconomics. Then main tools of macroeconomics are aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Okay, they are also known as macroeconomics variable. And the main subject matter of macroeconomics is to determine income and the employment level of an economy. So why we are studying this macroeconomics? So over here, the subject matter is to determine the income and the employment level in an economy. If more and more people are employed, they are working, so that means the national income will be very high. You will get to know about the national income of an individual economy, right? About an economy. But if more and more people are unemployed, that means the national income will be low, right? So over here, if you want to know about the income and the employment status of an economy, so you should go for macroeconomics. Macroeconomics will be helping you to get the data related to income as well as the employment level of an economy, right? Then example of macroeconomic studies like estimation of national income, determination of income and employment level of income, government budget, all this come under macroeconomics. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you will quickly write down chapter 1, chapter unit 1. It is basically national income and related aggregate. But over here we are just going to do, this is chapter 1, introductory macroeconomics, and this is macroeconomics. Okay. Done, guys?
No, ma'am. The last one. Done, ma'am.
Both of you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now over here, very first thing over here is that we are studying microeconomics and macroeconomics, right? So sometimes if you're lucky enough, you get a question where is basically they are going to ask you the difference between micro and macro, right? So we will be writing the difference between micro and macro. In case if they ask you to write few points about microeconomics, in case they are not asking you the differentiation, then you can use the points from here. But in case if they ask you to write the points, the difference between micro and macro, that will hardly come for 3 marks, not more than that, right? So over here, I'll be asking you to write at least 5 points so that you can remember any 3. Okay. So let's just do the differentiation. So first of all, I hope you people can see my screen, right? Okay. So it is the study of individual economic unit of an economy, and it is the study of economy as a whole. Okay. Then over here, it deals with individual unit. These are limited degree of aggregation, and industry is an aggregate sum. So you are not going to write that much. You are going to write it deals with individual unit. Clear? And over here, as it deals with economy as a whole, so there is a vast degree of aggregation. So there is a limited degree of aggregation till here you will write. Okay. So you got to know about 2 points. First point, that it is the study of individual economic unit. Here it is a study of economy as a whole. So over here, because it is dealing with individual unit, so there is a limited degree of aggregation. Okay. But here there is a vast degree of aggregation. Like you have to add so many things all together. Over here, it deals with the central problem of allocation of resources related to principle and policies. Okay. And over here, it is the central problem are determined by the level of income and employment and related principle and policies. Okay. So over here, what are the central problem? Allocation of resources is the central problem and related principle and policies. Here, the central problem is determination of level of income and employment. Clear? Okay, so here central
Yes,
problem
ma'am.
is allocation of resources. Here the central problem is determination of income and employment. Done. Then the main instrument over here, if you want to study the microeconomics, you should have some instrument. The instrument are demand and supply. Here the main instrument to study macroeconomics are basically the aggregate demand. You will use the word aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Okay. Then this is, now you have the problem. You are going to study the problem. Of course, if you want solution, you should have something. So price are determined how to solve the problem. So if you have any problem related to microeconomics, you need one thing, that is price. With the help of that tool, which is price, you can solve any problem related to microeconomics. Here, income is a determinant to solve problem. If you have any problem, you just need a tool which is income and you can solve anything. Okay. Over here, just forget about this. It is also known as price theory. It is also known as theory of income and employment. It is derived from the Greek word. Sometimes, if you people are you people are also preparing for this common entrance test and all that after 12, are you planning for that? Anyone? No?
Yeah, maybe.
No, ma'am.
No? Like what are your plan after 12? Like how you're going to go to the colleges? Because if you like you are planning it from somewhere else or you are preparing it for India, like what are you planning?
I'm planning it in India.
India. So India, you should have that this common entrance test. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
So that because right now the personal opinion, you don't no need to go for anywhere or something like that. Whatever you are reading in the 12th class, just read it along with the one marker because that's the syllabus only, right? So over here, whatever you are see in your exam hall, in your boards, you will be getting the one marker as well, right? The 20 marks one marker will be there, 10 for micro and 10 for your Indian economy, right? So prepare yourself for the one marker because in your exam hall you'll be getting one marker for the common entrance test, right? So over here these type of questions come, that this word, this microeconomics is a word which is derived from which word? So it is a Greek word, right? They'll be giving you the like hints, Greek word, Latin word like this, like the English word like this. So you should know that it is a Greek word. These type of one marker, like it is also known as price theory. Microeconomics known as price theory. It is known as theory of income. So these are the takeaway that you have to remember for the other period. Okay. And over here, it is derived from the Greek word, which is macros, which means large. And it is derived from the Greek word, which means micros, M-I, and it is M-A, right? It is small, mini, M-A, mini, and over here macro, which is bigger one, which is large. Clear? So you will just simply write, no need to write this one, just write this, write in short, so that you'll get an idea. You don't need to write this one, okay? And apart from that, you have to write everything. Difference, put the heading, difference between micro as well as micro and macroeconomics. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, your screen is not.
Is it not? Can you see the screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm done. I'm done.
Both of you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we will be doing the next thing. Okay, so these you can see this output produced by a cloth mill, right? So sometimes they ask you to differentiate between the micro as well as macro. Okay, so over here, see output produced by a cloth mill, right? So it is a mill, so that means only one is doing that. So that will come under what?
Micro.
Yes. And then allocation of resource. I already told you allocation of resource is a part of,
Microeconomics.
yeah, it's a problem, right? Then
Yes.
price, yes. Then price determination of gold jewelry. Price you have to determine. So that will be a part of,
Micro.
yes. Then general price. It's general price. Like it will be for everyone. So it will be a part of,
Macro.
Macroeconomics.
then aggregate supply.
Macro.
Macroeconomics.
Yes. Then consumption expenditure by a family household.
Micro.
Microeconomics.
Yes. Unemployment in an economy. Unemployment is a part of
Macro.
Macroeconomics.
government budget.
Macroeconomics.
Yes.
Growth of resource in an economy. The resources are growing. So,
Macroeconomics.
yes. And sugar industry. I haven't mentioned industries. I have mentioned industry. So,
Micro.
yes. So I hope you got the difference between micro and macro. Sometimes you get a question like this. You have to identify what comes under micro and what comes under macro. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now over here, there were two thoughts basically. That is not a part. I think your teacher didn't taught you this, na? The two thoughts, classical and
No.
Keynesian. No, right? Yeah, because that's deleted actually. Okay. So this is basically the thing which is not a part of our thing. Okay. So let's just do the other part. Now over here, we are going to do the next part, which is basically the circular flow of an income. So before starting with the circular flow, it's an entire concept, which is circular flow. We will be doing some terms. Like over here, we are going to do this one, right? So I've instead this, in this chapter, like this is basic, as I told you, this entire unit I am going to divide into 4 parts. Okay, so first chapter we are done, where we did discuss everything related to macroeconomics, okay, and micro. Done. Now coming to the second chapter, which is the circular flow. In this circular flow, we are going to study first of all this circular flow, its meaning and the phases, and circular flow in two-sector economy, right? And then we are going to study about this. What are leakages and injection? What are stock and flow? So instead of teaching you stock and flow, I'll be teaching you the differentiation. Why? Because when we learn differentiation, it becomes easy to learn, right? If I'll give you some definition of stock and some definition of flow, you won't be able to differentiate between them, right? Because question will come that where you have to identify what is stock and what is flow. So at that time, definition won't be helping you, right? At that time, the differentiation between the stock and flow, that will be helping you. Clear? So first, we will be doing the differentiation, and after that, we'll be doing the circular flow. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before that, we have basically, it's a some basic economic activities are there in an economy. So we are going to study that. So basic economic activities are, first of all, production. So what is in production? Production is generally defined as an activity which produces physical goods and services, or which increases the value of intermediate consumption. Clear? So that is your production. So over here, you are not going to write this is an activity and all that. You will just write a simple definition, which is production is a process of converting inputs into output. Okay, or you can write converting raw material into a finished good. That is a production. Okay, what you are doing, you are adding a value to the raw material. Clear? So what is production? Basically, production is converting the inputs into output, or you can write adding the value to the, for example, this is a piece of wood, right? This is a raw material. So what is the value of this piece of wood? 100 rupees. But once this wood piece of wood, you will make a furniture, maybe a sofa, maybe a bed. So that will be for 1000 rupees. So you are adding the value to the piece of wood, adding a value to the raw material. So that is your production. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Both of you? Okay. Now coming to consumption. So the process of using up the utility of the good and services For the direct satisfaction of individual or collective human want is called consumption. Clear? So over here, for example, you want to sit in a sofa or you want to sleep on a bed. So that time that will give you a satisfaction, right? For example, you want to eat chocolate. You are hungry. You want to eat chocolate. But instead of chocolate, if I give you mangoes, you won't be getting the satisfaction because your cravings were for chocolate, right? So why you are consuming the product? Because that will be giving you the satisfaction. So the process of using the utility of the goods and services, why? To directly satisfy the individual. It can be I am the single one or the collective human being. Like in your entire family, everybody wanted to eat chocolate or the ice cream. So over here, just to satisfy your want, right? When you consume something, that is known as consumption. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to capital formation. What is capital formation? It is the addition to the existing capital stock of an economy during a year. Clear? That's it. So over here, for example, over you have a room that is already a capital, right? In that room, you decided to start a startup company of computer. Like you just started that you will be starting a company of computers, right? So over there, you bought 10 computers and you made that entire room the computer room. So over here, whatever stock you already had a room. Over there, you added something, right? So that is capital formation. You in that and that was an empty room. You basically added the capital, that is the computers, and now it is a capital formation. You formed that entire room as a capital, as a computer room. So that is the existing stock you are going to add it, right? During a year, that is your sorry capital formation, which is basically an invest. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will write basic economic activities first, production. You will write this definition, then consumption till here, and then capital formation till here. Just a simple line. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Ma'am, can you scroll down?
Done, ma'am.
Both of you done?
Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay. Now coming to the next one. Over here, we won't be doing the circular flow first. We will be doing some basic differences, which is basically the real flow and the money flow. The first difference is real flow and the money flow. What is this? So real flow, it refers to the flow of goods and services across different sector of an economy. So different sector, household sector, this sector, that sector, right? So when goods and services flow from one sector to another, that is known as real flow. And money means over here, goods and services are not flowing. Money is flowing, right? For example, a person, a businessman, right? This is a businessman and this is a salesperson working in his company and this is a housemaker and this is a teacher. So this businessman gave salary to this person, right? Out of the salary, he also paid salary to his house worker and this housemaker has a children and over there she paid fees of those children to a teacher, right? So what is happening? Money is flowing from one part to another, right? So over here, it refers to the flow of money across different sector of an economy, right? And over here, it is a flow of physical output among the sector. Okay. And over here, it is the monetary transaction. Money transaction is monetary transaction among the sectors. It is known as physical flow as either goods and services are exchanged among sector, right? If I am giving you a service, I'm teaching you that you can feel it. I'm teaching you and over here you can feel it. So physically I am present over here, right? And it is also known as nominal flow or only money in exchange among sectors. So over here as why it is known as nominal? Because only I will take money. No other option is there, right? So this is the difference between real flow as well as money flow. Clear?
Yes,
Girls,
ma'am.
clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will write difference between real flow and money flow. No need to write all this. Just write the difference.
Ma'am, should we write the nature of transaction and nature of
No,
flow?
you don't have to write all this. Just write the difference.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, done.
Both of you done?
1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, take it.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now coming to the next one. Okay. Over here, okay, this is not we are going to do. We are going.
Ma'am, before you start the next topic, can I just ask about the project?
I didn't get any message from you and I forgot. So what
Ma'am,
you can
even
do?
I forgot it.
Yeah, I because there was an off for a few days now, so completely I just forgot. So what you can do, we'll be meeting I think day after tomorrow, na? So you can just drop me a text by tomorrow, or I'll wait. I'll just write it in my notes, so I'll not forget. Okay. So we can discuss it by day after tomorrow. I hope that won't be late for you. It's okay, na?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, by
Okay.
the
So
way, we have already
definitely I'll just
assigned
discuss it.
with the project topics, ma'am.
You need project topics.
No, we are already assigned with the project topics by our teachers.
Okay, okay. So Vanisha, what you can do, you can just share that topic list with me. Right?
Okay,
If
ma'am.
from that topic I have the material which I told you, right? So in that case, if I have the material, then I can ask you to choose that topic so that you can work on that, right? Or I'll just give you a suggestion, which is going to cover, like, your teacher has allotted you the particular topic, or she has given you a choice?
Yes, ma'am. She has allotted us the topic.
Okay, so what topic you got?
I got the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan.
Sorry, didn't get it.
Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. First,
Okay,
and
Sarva
I've been
Shiksha
to that.
Abhiyan. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And what about Ritika?
Ma'am, I got waste management.
Waste management. Okay, okay. So you both can just drop me a text of your particular topic, right? So first of all, I'll just give you a hint how to start it and how that is going to help you. Though that won't be helping you that much, like both the topic won't be helping you that much in your paper. Of course, they'll be helping you, but they'll be helping you like you can write a paragraph on it, whatever, if you get a question related to that, right? But that won't be covering an entire chapter, right? So you can just drop me a text so that I'll do a little bit research for particular thing, and I can just mention you that these are the things that you need to write in your project. And plus I'll just tell you how to present your project in such a way that is going to help you both in your exam as well as in the practical thing. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so drop me a text by don't drop it today, because if you'll drop it today, I will completely forget. Tomorrow before going to school, you can drop me. So that once you come back, I have a text, or once you come back from your school tomorrow, just drop me tomorrow anytime. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
So that
Okay,
will
ma'am.
that I'll have the fresh thing, so we can start by this. So in your school, what is going on right now? Like, are they done with the national income chapter?
We finished it today, ma'am.
They finished it.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what they are starting now?
Ma'am, she's starting with the third unit.
Sorry.
The
From the
third
third
unit,
unit.
ma'am. I think money.
What's the chapter?
Ma'am,
No,
probably
it's not
money.
money. The determination.
Income determination.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
income
ma'am,
third.
that one.
Okay, okay, okay. So we will also try to finish it up early, right? And even like I'll ask a teacher, like, because right now we are having only 2 classes, right, in a week. So I'll have a word with your counselor, and I'll just ask them to, have at least 3 classes, like as usual we were having, because we were waiting for few students that are going to join, so that it will be not a gap for them, because we have already covered one chapter, not the entire unit, but at least one chapter we are done. So this will at least take 1 or 2 weeks to complete this chapter, because we are having 2 classes. So if you'll get 3 classes in a week, then it will be easy. So tomorrow we'll just finish this chapter. The next day we're going to do the third chapter, which is your aggregates like GDP, GNP, and everything. Then the next 3 days we are going to do the one day we will be covering this your income method, one day value added method, and one day expenditure method, like this. So hard we will be needing 4 more classes to complete this, 4 to 5 classes to complete all this. And once we are done with this, we'll be practicing a lot of questions. And remember one thing, like every day, like apart from your assignment which are being allotted to you, I will be giving you some question related to national income, right? So every day, for example, today like no matter whether we are doing any other chapter, you are going to solve one question related to national income daily, right? Once we are done with a good part, because most of the students face difficulty over here, so I don't want you people to face it. So daily, if you will practice one question, maybe today you are solving it with income method, some PYQ will be doing, right? So daily one question. So that means in a month you are going to do 30 questions. Not 30 questions, we will have 3 classes. So at least 12 to 15 questions you have. So at last you won't be feeling like, oh my God, what to do. And every starting of every class, we will be for 5 minutes, we'll discuss the answer, like what you did and everything. So that will be like you will be, because this entire unit is for 12 marks. So I just don't want you to feel like, oh my God, what to do. Because this chapter, especially for numericals, you need a lot of practice. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so today we are running out of time. So we will be starting it tomorrow. So tomorrow, like day after tomorrow, whenever we'll be meeting. So tomorrow we'll just finish off this second unit. Then after next class, we'll be doing the related aggregate. And after that, 3 more classes where will be one day. We'll be like, I can cover all the 3 things in one day, but I don't want that to mix it up. Like I'll explain you the first income method, then we will practicing few questions. Then the next day, the other method will be practicing few. So for that, what I will do, I just don't want to have a gap in between. So for example, today I'm starting. So instead of having giving you people a break for one day, I will request your counselor to conduct the class for the other, like, or like regularly for the 3 days. so that in the 1 go we can complete all the methods. Clear? So basically today we have a class and Thursday we have a class. So I'll request them Tuesday, Wednesday also to conduct a class. Of course, you will have some other class. So I will ask you when you people are free. Accordingly, I'll conduct a class with you. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am.
So that continuously in 3 days we